One of the main reasons I started my company is I can't work with stupid people, and there's a lot of stupid people in construction. And I know I'm gonna call myself stupid by the end of this video because I also decided to choose to be in construction. And I always see this number that they talk about that in 2 years, in 2030, there's gonna be a construction shortage. There's not enough plumbers. There's not enough electrician. There's not a lot of people joining the trades. And from my experience, I'll tell you why. And we're gonna talk about the 3 reasons why there's not a lot of qualified people. Is because everyone is, you got to be stupid to be in construction. And I know I'm calling myself stupid because I am stupid. Because why would you join construction? And I'm going to tell you why. Keep in mind, the average person that does join construction, they're quitting within 2 years. So someone joins construction, on average, they only last 2 years. I've been doing this for 10 years, and why I'm gonna explain why why there's a lot of stupid people in construction. Number one, when I told people that I was gonna become a plumber, even in high school, they had a meeting. My counselor told me, "Hey, you need to take these classes so you could join a 4-year college." And I told them, fuck no, I don't want to do that. And they were mad. They had a parent teacher conference with me. Keep in mind, this was like 10 years ago. And they're like, your kid is not going to be able to have the minimum qualifications to go to college. And I told them, I'm not going to college. And I told them I was going to go to trade school. And keep in mind, a year before, I entered to get a scholarship to join ABC, which is a dentured apprenticeship in San Diego. It's offered through different states. It's basically like the union without being in the union. So I already talked to them and I already told them what's my minimum qualifications to enter your program. And they said you just need a high school diploma and a C or better in algebra and a recommendation from 2 people, which I had, and I got all that. So boom, I went in. And when I say why there's a lot of stupid people in construction is because the smartest people in your class, think about this logically. The people that got the best grades in school weren't jumping up and down and said, "Hey, I'm going to be a plumber. I'm going to be an electrician. I'm going to be doing HVAC. I'm going to do concrete." That's what I'm saying. You got to be stupid. So we get all the lower class people that were forced to go into construction, and these people they don't have these 3 things. That's why this construction industry is failing, and that's why because smart people don't want to work with stupid people, and there's a lot of unqualified people that are your leaders. And I know this because all my friends decided to become plumbers, and I talk to them on a daily basis. And I know that I was like, "Hey, who's the foreman there?" And I'm talking like, "That guy's the foreman," and they're not qualified to be a leader. But since there's not enough positions and not enough experience, they're just getting pushed. For example, a journeyman that was doing it for 20. Okay, let me backtrack. Everything you do requires skill. Even running a business, I had to start from the bottom and learn all these skills. And it took me, I'm on almost 4 or 5 years of doing my own thing. And finally, I'm seeing the results of like, holy fuck, I'm starting to learn, starting to get this business thing going on. And what I mean is like, I'm finally like, oh fuck, that's how you do it. Oh, don't do that. Don't do this. So what I'm trying to say is it takes about 4 to 5 years for you to become an apprentice to become a journeyman that knows what the fuck they're doing. And then it takes another 4 to 5 years from going journeyman to foreman. And then, and that takes about 10 fucking years to become qualified. And when the average person that's in the construction industry is only lasting 2 years, that's why there's a problem. There's a lot of fucking work out there. The problem is everyone is losing money on projects. Even the bigger companies that have unlimited money, they can't solve this problem. And this problem is what we're going to talk about. They can't get people that are smart, hardworking, and reliable. And we'll talk about even this one, why you got to be stupid to work in construction. Smart. You got to be able to read plans, calculate risk, use common sense. When I say calculate risk is like plan ahead. Hey, the drywallers are gonna put all their drywall in this fucking room. I need to start doing this. I need to start thinking ahead. Hey, the electrician is gonna be there tomorrow. Maybe I should not focus on this. And that's like smart. Like keeping the project going, hardworking. 15 miles. Sometimes you gotta walk fucking 15 miles. Plus carrying material, going up and down ladders. I had my Apple Watch. The most steps I ever did was like 30,000 steps. This is why I'm the fattest I ever been. It's because when I was out in the field, I was burning fucking like 6,000 calories. And now that all I do, this is my job, like literally write estimates, make contact, this and that. This is my job. So I was like, fuck, getting into the workout is, before that was part of my daily life. Sometimes you gotta carry 100 pounds plus. I don't know about you, but if you don't know how much cast iron pipe weighs, and that's one of the biggest things. Like if you ever girls have never, they always thought I was weak. Just because I don't go to the gym, I was like, doesn't mean every day I wasn't out there lifting pipe that weighed 100 plus pounds. So to me, when a girl only weighs 110 pounds and I just lift them up and toss them, they're like, "What the heck? How can you just lift me up like that?" It's because I literally carry 100 pounds plus a day. So you gotta walk 15 miles a day, work 100 pounds, and keep in mind this is commercial. I came from commercial, not residential construction, so this is commercial. So it's hard working. It's also weird. I know you guys love the gym, but guess what? There's no air conditioning when it's 100 degrees. You're sweating your balls off, and you're having heat stroke. You're legit feeling like shit. You know, you're dehydrated. You're pissing like a motherfucker. You can't drink water because you're on a lift. If you hydrate enough, you're gonna be like, fuck, I need to go up and down the lift and piss. You're not thinking about that. So I remember when I was working in Arizona, one time I had a backpack, those little water thing. I worked all day and didn't take a piss. And one day I was like, damn, today's cool. It was 100 degrees, and I was like, today's a cool day. The average temperature was like 110, 115 degrees. When it got down to 100, I was like, damn, that's a cool day. So hardworking, that's another thing. Reliable. It's hard to get someone that shows up on time and showing up sober. So that's one of the biggest things. Like, it's these three things is the hardest thing to get a construction worker, which you need to be a good journeyman. And I'm still going to take you about 5 years to become a good journeyman going for your apprenticeship. So these three things knock out most of the people. That's why they only last 2 years. Not to mention, we have hazards. Back then, I didn't give a fuck. I would fucking rotor hammer. Like, ear protection was like, whatever. I'm just one little. Now, I didn't give a fuck about safety glasses. I'm like, whatever. Now, being older, I'm 29, almost about to be 30. But now I was like, holy fuck, safety is fucking important. It doesn't matter if you become successful, if you in a month or in 2 months I get diagnosed with leukemia or asbestos whatever they say, and you get a cancer and you fucking die. So you got the long-term effects, which is all the chemicals you're breathing, all the dust, all the hearing loss that you're dealing with, and then short-term, you could fucking fall off a ladder and die that same day. And it's happened to people I know. There's people that I showed up on the news that people have hit me up through Facebook, or that we know that we went to school with, that have died in my city. So this short-term risk is also fucking hazardous. So you got to be pretty stupid to do all these three things. Look, you could get like half of this, and most construction people are this. They're hard workers. Some of them are reliable, and they don't give a fuck about the hazardous. But when you put smart and hazardous, you do this. The smart people are like, holy fuck, that's a lot of hazardous. And the pay, you got to keep in mind, the pay is fucking good. You make more than tech bros straight off the back. There's no debt. Like, the only way you could be smart is if you knew the long term, and made a plan. Like, you saw the vision like I did, and was like, yeah, you knew the hazard, which is hearing loss. You need to protect your eyes, you need to protect your lungs, and then short term, you might die. You might die in the journey. That's funny, but it's not funny because it does happen. So if you're smart, you probably are like, fuck, I don't want to be walking 50 miles a day, carrying 100 pounds more, and that's the biggest thing. It's like getting these three things is what's causing this construction problem. These three things is the reason I have my own company. These three things is the reason why I got my General B license. And within 2 weeks, I already got like three GC jobs that I have nothing to do with, but because I've been in construction for 10 years and I know how project management, how a schedule works, and how everything goes, they're just like tossing these jobs. Also, got to keep in mind, I know how to make a team. And like I mentioned, smart people do not like to work with stupid people. So it's easy for me to like fire people that don't know what the hell they're doing and finding the right people to join my team. So that's the biggest thing. I always see this data of like there's not enough people that are joining the construction industry. It's not that there's not enough qualified people, and there's not a lot of people that stick to this because of this. It's like this is not the pay is good if you join the union and join. And the craziest part about this, even the union, the bigger companies that pay prevailing wage, they're losing money like a motherfucker. And the only thing that's backing them up is all this private equity throwing money at them. But every job, they'll be happy if their profit is no profit. You don't know how every job is negative. I see them like, and I always think to myself when I'm bidding smaller jobs, I'm like, how the fuck are these fools not losing money? How are they not bankrupt? You know why they're not bankrupt? Because they're literally backed up by banks, and they see the future and they're trying to make it profitable, but they can't. It's been forever. The union is getting like they're the most qualified, but then still they're I don't know, they're barely probably getting a 10%. And right now, since I got my General B, I think it's gonna go even better for me because I'm gonna control the whole aspects of the projects, which is not that hard. I just that I've been doing it for 10 fucking years. That to me, it's just common sense. But this is the three major things, and one of the biggest things is why smart people don't want. Well, smart people don't want to be in construction is because the discrimination you get from other people. And when I say it's not because I'm Mexican, I don't give a fuck about that. It's the status discrimination of, oh, what makes you think you could charge more than a lawyer? I have heard, what makes you think you could charge more than a doctor? You know how many times people have told me that to my face and they're like, you're more than my lawyer. You're more than my doctor. Smart people don't want to be disrespected. So like Alex Hermosi says, me, I don't care. I don't care about the disrespect because I think about the long-term effect. And I know if they saw who I was or they knew my numbers, they were like, holy fuck, this guy is as smart as a doctor, or could have been a doctor, or could have been a lawyer. He just chose the difficult road. It decided to be like, you know what, my first mountain is going to be Mount Everest. That's what I decided to do. No training. I just went for it. And now that it's like once you climb Mount Everest, it's like, what else? What other fucking mountain is there to climb? And most people started with little mountains, and I just decided to go this way. But that's what I'm saying. You work with a lot of stupid people, and when a smart person tries to join construction and they get stupid ass people telling them what to do, they quit. And it's happened so many times because you're like, and also it's what's like a pissing contest. I seen it so many times. You have how many times me and my boys have to go through it because of our age. Keep in mind, we're now 29, but we were foremen at age 24, 25. Imagine taking orders from a 24-year-old or 25-year-old. Keep in mind, let's take it back. I remember the first month I joined construction because remember I said I'm assuming I'm smart, but I know I'm stupid. But I remember one time they gave us some order how to run the hangers, and we were doing a 16 of an inch common math, fourth grade math. The journeyman I was working with, I told him he was doing it incorrectly, and he told me to shut the fuck up, and he told me that who the fuck is the journeyman. And you know what? I did shut the fuck up. But then later on, I told the foreman, and during break, I was like, hey, remember, like, you told us to do this? And he's like, yeah. And I told him, hey, we're not doing that. So all your hangers are on the wrong elevation. He's like, what do you mean? He's all like, I was like, well, go tell them to start laying pipe, and you'll see that all the work we did is doesn't work. And then that's the calculated risk. And then you know what he told me? He's all like, he told us we once we came back from break, we started hanging in pipe, and the pipe was not lining up because we're at a different elevation. Keep in mind, fourth grade math, fourth grade fucking math. And it came down to the foreman telling me, Miguel, Miguel or Mike, that's my name. You know what the fuck you're doing? I was like, yeah. He's like, I don't want to fucking talk to this guy again. I don't want to hear it. And I'm like, dude, you either listen to this motherfucker or you get the fuck off the job site. Keep in mind, I only been doing plumbing for a fucking month. 1 month, 18 years old. And I was already telling guys what to do. And from that day on, that guy fucking hated me. He hated me. Like, he would despise me. He despised me so much that, like, we had to fire him. Because it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to get all three. And you got to keep in mind, this is the type of guy that would be like, I've been plumbing, I've been doing this for 10 fucking years. And I was like, dude, you're not a plumber. You're an installer. I didn't tell him this. But that kind of disrespect, you get to keep in mind, this is 1 month in. That was just 10 years ago. I own a company. He probably doesn't have a job. Or he probably does, because some people sometimes... Some of these jobs when you're working in construction, a monkey could do. It's just like repetitive. But to be an actual journeyman electrician, troubleshoot, know what the fuck you're doing, being an actual plumber, being an actual HVAC, there's a lot of installers out there, and it's gonna offend people. Some people are just installers. And that's what I'm saying. When you get a smart person getting told what to do by a dumbass person, a stupid person, it's hard for them to stay at that job because they feel like they're I don't know how to say it, like they're number one, they're being disrespected. And that's one of the biggest things that I saw in that report that said this new generation this new generation can't, though the older generation can't teach the new generation because they don't know how to. And one thing I would say is the older generation also might not be qualified to be teaching the generation. Some of these people got their position just because they've been plumbing for 15 years. But you got to keep in mind it takes 5 years to learn the trade to be a foreman. And people don't think about that. Yes, he's been a good journeyman for 15 years, but he does not know what it takes to be a foreman. And that's why all these jobs lose money. So this is why I think you gotta be stupid to join construction, and why there's a lot of stupid people in construction, because the smart people just leave. So you're left with a lot of dumb people. Like I said, no one jumps up and down on when you were in kindergarten and say, I'm gonna be a plumber. No one is like, the only way, and I'll say this right now, so who's ever dumb enough to stay and watch this whole video. Damn, I lost my marker. But the only way we're gonna convince and get a branding out there to join and become plumbers, it's gonna be the first plumber like Tigran, like not Tigran does landscape, but the first plumber electrician that starts putting Lamborghinis, Ferraris in the front, because that's gonna start making the kids. Because I seen it because I see my friends' younger brothers. They come and work with us sometimes, and then he would kept mentioning, fuck, I forgot his name. Ah, damn it, a landscape dude. I forgot what his name was, but he kept mentioning his name. Sorry, I'm not trying to not give him fame. I just really Arizona Top. He was already like, I'm gonna be a landscaper. I'm gonna start my own landscaping business. I'm like, what the fuck? Why, dude? It's like, there's no money in landscaping. And then he's like, look at this guy. He showed me his Instagram, and I started scrolling through him. He has a Lamborghini. And I'm not hating on the guy. It's just like, I just saw firsthand, and I'm like, what it does. I was like, dude, to get the younger generation to join your team, you got to start showing Lamborghinis, Ferraris, like all the cool things that are like, holy fuck, I want to be a plumber, I want to be an electrician, I want to be an HVAC. You also have to have a cool branding for people want to join, and I think that's what's gonna set all these people apart. When you start, but it takes forever to make like. That's one of the biggest things where I'm like, I. It sounds kind of weird, but like I feel like getting a supercar will be the next best thing for me. Not because I want it, because I feel like that's gonna make people like, holy fuck, I want to be a plumber, and be like, oh, you want to be a plumber? Join my team, and then you could take the best type of people to join your team. And the problem is, like I said, everyone's having a qualify issue. Like if you could convince people to join your team, the smart people that are hardworking and reliable to join your team, I think you could dominate the industry. And if you ever see a supercar, me putting a really nice car, I'm not gonna be ready to make that decision yet, but I feel like that's gonna boost the recruitment. Not well, the jobs, it's not a problem because I feel like I'm pretty busy, but the recruitment, getting a supercar. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to convince myself to get a supercar.